Welcome everyone to this introduction of DUInvest Pro product, and during this introduction I will run you through some of the personalization features that you have in this application. As you will see in a little while, that you can customize this application to any of your requirements, however you like to see the application. And in my subsequent presentations I will show you features like the navigational tools that you have in this application, where you can actually reach any module or any information, any stock within a matter of milliseconds. And then I will take you through the technical analysis and the charting application that this application possesses. And finally I will run you through some of the tools that you have here, so that you can make some of the best investment decisions that you can make. So for me to start, let me first take you through this workspace that you see. As you can see, this is a black workspace. This is the default workspace that we have created for you. So when you log in for the first time, this is what you will see. In here you can see you see the normal CSC watch list. As you can see, it's the symbol is here, the description is here, the bid, offer, the last price, the change price, the trade volumes, and the cash map. Likewise, the information is here. And if you scroll down, you can see all the other stocks in the market as well, the ones that are traded, as well as when you go down, the ones that are not traded today. So the entire market, all the stocks are given here. And basic features like dragging a column and dropping somewhere, or for that matter sorting, things like that are anyway made available in all the modules that you will see in this application. The basic features are always available. And towards the bottom you have something called news. This is a news ticker, what we call it. The news ticker essentially streams all the breaking news and announcements and corporate actions and things like that. The reason why we have this here is because some people tend to open couple of websites, the news websites and some other websites, while they are trading and while they are looking at the market information. So here you can whenever there's a news breaks, that news will come here. In fact, there will be a nice pop-up that will come up in this area. You might see it in within the next couple of minutes, if a news breaks within that time, so that will come there. So the point is, when you see that, you don't have to you can just click on it and get a brief description. And if you're interested in reading the whole story, you can click on the more tab and see all the information. So that way you can follow all the news within the same screen. Towards the left you can see there's a sidebar. Inside the sidebar you see something called market summary. You will see the volume of the market, you see the turnover of the market, and you also see the chart as of right now. And if you happen to click on this one, you can see that not only the ASI, you can see all the other indices as well. So if you want to switch to any other index, if you are particularly following, let's say, hotels and travel sector, you can just select that and see the chart related to that as well. And below you have something called symbol list, where you can dig into your stocks very easily. If you go down and just double click on advanced, you can see the advanced details. You can also do things like dragging and dropping, and there's a quick search where you can easily get to your stocks from there. Apart from that, the news and announcement information is also listed here. Top gainers are listed here, top losers are listed here, and similarly those information are there. On the top you see the ticker. As and when there is a trade, you will see that information immediately. And if you happen to want to know more details, just click on the stock and you will see the more details from there as well. On the top, on the very top, you can see the index information, the ASI information, and the MPI information. You also see the status of the market, the turnover of the market, the volume of the market, the number of trades, and there is something called percentage cash map. Now let me briefly explain what this percentage cash map is. Before I go on to explain this, let me tell you that this feature has been a feature that we are responsible to we introduced this feature in many countries and for the first time, and everywhere we introduced this feature became an absolutely popular feature, and this became an absolute sensation. And let me tell you why and what this actually means. Now, as of right now, the percentage cash map of Colombo Stock Exchange is about 48 to 49%. Okay. Now, for me to explain it, let me pick a stock like PMB. As you can see, the top bidder for PMB is 1670 and the top seller is at 1710. Let's just assume a scenario where the offer and the bidder be very stubborn and they say, okay, I will not change the price, I will not move from here. And if the offer and the bidder be in that position, a trade will never happen, right? Why? Because for a trade to happen, either the seller have to give up to buyer's price or the buyer will have to give up to seller's price. Let's just take in this scenario that the seller happen to be more stubborn than the buyer, and he will stay on like this. So the bidder is waiting, he's waiting till he changes price. He doesn't change the price, so he decides, okay, I will take take it at 1710. He goes and change 500 of his stocks to 1710. Very moment he changes that, that will become a match, and therefore there will be a trade. When that trade happens, we consider that trade is won by the seller. Why? Because he didn't change the price, the other person did. So when the seller wins, we take that turnover and put it in one side. But in the market, not all the time the sellers are winning. Sometimes the buyers are winning as well. So if you, let's say, in this scenario, let's say the offer is waiting, he's not, the bidder is not changing price. He decides, okay, I'll sell it at 1670. What he does is he goes and change, let's say, 300 of his stocks from 1710 to 1670. When that happens, there will be another trade. But in that scenario, it's the bidder who won, not the seller. When the buyer wins, what we do is we take that turnover separately and put it into another basket, another area. So what you see as 48% today is, out of all the trades that happen today, who's winning more? Whether the buyers are winning more or the sellers are winning more. Today seems to be fairly even for both on bidder and the seller side. So this gives you an immediate information. Now let me tell you how this can be useful to you. Let's say the market starts at 9:30, and by about 9:40 and 9:45 you will know where the market is heading, whether it's today is going to be a buyer's market or a seller's market. So similarly, you can at any given time see who's dominating the market more. You might say that this is very good information, but unfortunately it may not be very useful to you because you are not trading the entire market. You are trading individual stocks. In that case, it gets even better. As you can see on this watch list, in front of each and every stock you see the cash percentage. Now if you happen to be somebody who's planning to sell something like Blue Diamond today, it's almost 65% buyer dominated, only 35% seller. So if you want to sell it, would you sell it now? Well, maybe not. Maybe you will hang around for a little bit longer to see it might come up further, because today it's heavily dominated by the buyer. So you can wait a little and probably sell it for a higher price. But if you happen to be somebody who's following Amana, would you want to, let's say you want to actually sell, you want to buy Amana, would you want to buy it now? Maybe not, because only about 12% dominated by buyer, almost 88% dominated by seller, which means the price can potentially come down little bit more. So if you want to buy, you probably don't want to buy now. You'll wait for a little long and you can buy it at a much lesser price, and this way you can possibly make millions of money looking at this kind of information. And if you want to see more details, just right click on it and go to cash flow detail code, which will say that out of 69 trades of Amana that happened today, how many were won by buyers, how many were won by sellers, and their values, their turnovers, all those information are there. So you can see that you can make some useful information out of this data. So that is the default watch list, as I have explained the entire watch list for you. You might say that it's nice, it's good, but then you are already used to using a different look, different application, that you would like this application also to be like that because you've been using that application for a long period of time. If that's the case, that's fine. You can convert this application to anything of your preference. Let me open up a workspace that I've created for myself called My Workspace. You can do it yourself anytime. Let me open that for you. It will open up in a couple of seconds.